Okay. Cup of tea. So I've just got in and thought I would do a very quick rundown of what I've been up to today. I've got a couple of projects in the mix at the moment, or sort of more tests that I was gonna share with the internet. Just sort of how I get on with experimenting with a few things, and you know, ultimately the purpose of my YouTube channel is to share. I'm now back to university. I actually start my lessons tomorrow, but I was in the library yesterday. I was studying really hard. I've loved cameras and filming since I was young because I chose it for GCSE and studied it at college, but my education and my lessons really were the only exposure I had to the world of films and cameras. Today I have been about London with this. Some of you may have heard of a camera called Blackmagic. It's this big square chunky cinema camera, and this is its pocket sort of, you know, child, if you wish. I have wanted to have a go at this because a lot of people are using the Blackmagic because of its infamous sort of very flat image, and it makes it wonderful when it comes to color grading, which is something that I've not played around with a lot, or I know is probably one of my weaker points. And so I thought, what a better way than to bust out the pocket one, something that I feel a lot more comfortable carrying around London. Decided to take out a couple of lenses that I've never tried before. I don't really know what they do, what they're going to look like, and by the end of it I'd kind of gotten to grips with what does what, but yes, did find it rather difficult to master. I thought there'd be a little bit more options on it, but as a whole I wasn't really sure whether what I was shooting was sharp or exposed correctly or any good. It looked like really crappy quality on the screen. So I've been on my feet all day. I was starting at Monument because I had an idea of trying to get some wide shots, sort of city shots, and I had done some research and found out that you can actually go up the monument inside it, and it has a good view of London. So I paid my money and I climbed. I had like a little certificate. It's like a little thing to say that I climbed 311 steps to get up the top of the monument. From climbing the monument, I then decided to walk on foot across to St Paul's Cathedral, which turns out is quite expensive to get into, which I didn't realise. Took some shots of that, went across Millennium Bridge, and then pursued to walk the other side of the river until I had hit the London Eye. So I'd done a massive stretch. I shot anything that I thought might be relatively pretty along the way. When I was getting this from my university, they didn't have any spare batteries. I actually had to sit and wait for about an hour for it to charge because somebody had left it at 0. But having used this today, I mean, obviously I'm not going to leave it running as I'm walking for miles. I mean, I was gone for hours. And so I turn it off and I turn it on only when I needed to use it. And every time I turn it on, 5% battery's gone. And yeah, it just disappeared. The battery disappeared. So by the time I got to the London Eye, I was having some lunch and I was waiting for it to get, you know, nice and dusk. My battery ran out and my feet were absolutely killing me, and so I had to call it a day. I think I'm going to try and go again, maybe with my own Canon camera, just because it's really pretty around that time of night and I wanted to get some nice shots. Ultimately, having used this, initially I thought it would be the type of camera that I'd buy. Now I'm not so sure, particularly after watching the wonderful Philip Bloom's review on this camera before going out and using it. I found out that storage for this, your SD cards, can be particularly difficult, which means it would be quite expensive to stock enough storage to really make use of this. And the spare batteries, I mean, you would need a lot for a day's shooting.